does that.
I think so, yeah.
The wheel.
The wheel. You ready?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Here we go again, episode 43 of At Face Value. I'm Brian.
I'm Lucas.
And I'm Will.
Super pumped to have you back for another week. A lot of stuff going, sort of a lot of stuff going on.
Sort of.
NBA playoffs are in full swing right now. The first round is wrapped up except for one last Game 7, which we're currently watching, the Rockets and Warriors at halftime of their Game 7 match.
Got them right where we want them.
Right where we want them, down 12.
Down 12, right where we want them.
Curry has 3 points.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But and then the NHL playoffs are rolling too. I know Luke has been watching more than anybody on that. But Blues and Jets in a big time Game 7 there as well. That's also the last game of the first round. So a lot of good stuff. MLB's rolling, so just a lot of stuff. But I mean, I know the biggest thing that we've kind of probably been paying attention more than anything is probably the NBA playoffs. I know, like, yesterday it was kind of a dud. Like, the biggest series that I've seen, I know Will, you even said it too, probably the biggest series to point was the Nuggets and Clippers, and then the Clippers absolutely came out and just laid an egg yesterday. And so Nikola Jokic must have been flying high coming off of the Kentucky Derby win or something, and then rolling over to play some basketball.
Did he have a horse in the race?
Oh, I don't know.
No?
I doubt it.
That'd be awesome.
Dude, I did see a stat, though, that they said every single horse in the race yesterday was a descendant of Secretariat,
Yeah.
which is kind of wild.
Genes, dude. Genetics.
Yeah. It's kind of wild. But
That's very crazy.
I don't know how people, like, bet on that stuff. Like,
I was talking about that with somebody yesterday. I have no idea how it works. No clue.
I mean, I know how it works. You just put your money on a horse.
No, but they have different. No, they have different like bets, man. They have like finishes. Like you can bet like in order. Like you can bet order, and you can bet like if this horse gets like a top 5 finish, and like there's all kind of different bets in there.
It's kind of like golf. Like, isn't golf kind of like that?
Yeah.
Like, you can kind of bet, like, finish a certain place
Yeah.
or...
I don't know. I don't know exactly how it works. Like on Barstool, they were posting all kind of like their favorite bets. I'm like, I don't even know what this means. Like, I have no clue. But
Yeah.
that's just something I can't get into that.
Horse
mean,
racing?
Yeah.
Y'all didn't watch the Derby yesterday?
I didn't watch a second of it. I saw the clip of the end of it.
It was a good race. It was a good race.
I said it's the most exciting, was it mile and a quarter? I think it's like the most exciting mile and a quarter in the world or something. So
See, I don't know about that. It's not that exciting. It's just horses running. You know what I would see? I saw this thing, like, there's somewhere in England. Or I don't know if we're doing it at the end, but guessing the game or whatever.
yeah,
But I saw something. I guess it started in like 2002. I saw a video on it. Like these two guys were like arguing in a bar where the one guy thought that he can beat a horse in a race over 20 miles. Like, cause humans
20 miles.
humans are like legitimately humans are like known to be like the best distance, like endurance running.
right.
And he's like, I could beat a horse in 20 miles. And he did. He ended up doing it. And so now every year they have a race between a horse and a human to go these distances, like 20 miles every time. And
Does somebody ride the horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
Somebody
to.
rides the horse, and then the other person just runs the 20 miles. And I think the past 3 years, the human has won the race. But there hasn't been a human winner since, like, 2007 or something before then. Like, the horses do pretty well.
I was going to say, like, I feel...
It's an insane concept.
But every single race during that time was within like 23 seconds, they said. Like, they were pretty close, like every race.
Yeah, like, you're just, like, hauling at
Yeah.
the end.
Like that, but that would be something I'd watch the end of the stretch. Like, just a guy just...
That's crazy to me though, because if you rode the horse correctly and had it rested up, if you're in a sprint, like the horse should win the sprint every single time.
in a sprint, but that horse is gassed at 20 miles.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's got to stop and eat for a little bit. And
Yeah. Because that's what they say about cheetahs and stuff. Like, obviously, they're the fastest land
Short
animal.
line, yeah,
for sure.
Sprint speed, but
But if that cheetah had to run 20 miles, I ain't doing it.
it'd be dead. It wouldn't make it 20
It
miles.
would not make it.
So are you gonna jump into it next year?
Absolutely
or
not.
like,
Absolutely not.
you don't think you could run 20 miles?
I'll watch. No, I don't want to run 20 miles.
Heck no, dude.
But that'd be something fun to watch. Just a dude, and they were like talking about the average male. Like the horse would smoke the average male. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure the people running it are in good shape. They practice.
Oh, you have to be. You can't just go. You can't just go run 20
It's
miles
probably like
if you haven't
marathon
trained
runners
for
that, like,
that
jump
kind of
Not
stuff.
at all. And the average male, like at 25 years old, I bet you there's not even 75% or 25% of the population at 25 could run 20 miles.
As someone who used
Not
to
even
run,
10. Not even 10%.
as someone who used to run, right now I would absolutely die at probably 5.
Yeah.
I like more of the concept of like what Dennis did at the Shiner 5K, where he bought the tickets and then he just went and got the medal without running.
That's awesome.
That's more my style.
And get the beers
yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like hop in at the end to sprint across the line. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. But I wonder if these horses are trained to run 20 miles. Like, what if they actually train the horses to be like a distance horse? Is that even a thing?
They'd have to do some sort of training because you can't just go take a horse out there either like that. That horse would. I think that
Yeah.
would be very.
Well, and that's kind of where I think
You'd have
it's
like animal cruelty people out there on them,
PETA
holding up signs like
at the end.
yeah,
Well, I was gonna say, but he,
protesting for the horse's behalf.
just lined up at the finish line, just
covering the stall in red paint. That's what they like to do these days. Oh God.
Oh man, can you imagine just being like a degen better just at the end of that, just cheering on just the horse of the human.
That would be an electric finish, though.
Yeah, if it was close, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But no, NBA. Let's talk about the playoffs a little bit. Nuggets are playing who next?
so the Nuggets
Thunder?
are facing the Thunder next. So
No chance.
yeah, I think they're about to reach their limit.
Is there a chance? Like
No,
odds?
There's always a chance, but
I mean,
Like what does the BPI give it? Is that a thing?
I would say probably
Basketball
Thunder.
power
Like,
index?
if I had to guess, I would think like Thunder's in 5.
yeah,
Probably.
I would.
Yeah, in 5.
I give Nuggets a game at home, but
Yes.
I mean,
It's probably in the 80s on the percentile for them to win.
It's like a
may be
20%
higher.
chance.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
be shocked for anything less than that.
Yeah.
The Nuggets, most people had the Clippers winning this one, so
Really?
yeah, I'd be surprised if anybody takes the Nuggets in this,
Yeah.
unless you're just a complete diehard Nuggets fan, which there probably is 2 of those in the world. So
True. And all of Serbia.
yeah,
well, they're not watching the Rockies right now, so
No.
They
watch
sure are
the-
not. We'll get to that.
We'll get into that.
And they just lost the Avs, so
Oh yeah, the Avalanche are out too, which is
Man.
we'll get to that too. That was
yeah,
phenomenal.
I don't know. I mean, the playoffs now, depending what happens the rest of this game, this will be that series. Whoever plays the Timberwolves will probably that should be a decent series, and then the Cavaliers and the Pacers could be a good series, but.
I think the Knicks and Celtics could be a decent series too.
You know, they could because the Knicks just seem to get pesky in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, no matter if they should be winning or losing, it seems like they're always in sort of a dogfight the last 2 or 3 years, you know, especially since Brunson's been there. But yeah, I mean, we could see a lot better second round playoffs than we got first round. Besides the Thunder Nuggets, I think the West is kind of over. I don't really see anybody beating the Thunder. They're too good. So it's a little lackluster on this side. The East, I think it still runs through Boston, but yeah, I mean, like Lucas asked me earlier, would I be shocked if the Pacers beat the Cavaliers? Not really.
I mean, they won today.
They did win today.
The Pacers, when the Pacers are playing good, they're a good basketball team. I'd be way more surprised if the Knicks beat. I would be way more surprised if the Knicks beat the Celtics than if the Pacers knock off the Cavs.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And that's the thing is like the Cavs played really well, and that's kind of the thing too. Whenever you sweep a series, you kind of get that long layoff, and then kind of coming back. And I was watching the halftime show a little bit, or the pregame show, the Rockets they were talking about it, and they said the game plan just seemed a little off, like the way that they approached the game, and the Pacers just came out just very fast paced, and they just outpaced the Cavs throughout the game. So and they got good talent. I mean, I absolutely think they could win that one too. So I think either way, I mean, I think the Celtics are playing really well right now. So I think it'd be tough for them to lose because I mean I know like you said it was like they got the 2 seed, but they also have pretty much everybody back from last year when they won the championship. So they have the experience, if nothing else.
Very deep. They're very deep and very experienced. I still think the East runs through Boston until for sure, just obviously until someone knocks them off. But I still think they're the favorite, even though they're the 2 seed. There's so much talent on that team.
But nobody's beaten OKC. For the most part.
In the West,
Could Boston, potentially?
Yeah.
In 7 games?
Just because of the experience and,
OKC's young.
They're just so... OKC's very good defensively, which why I think it'd be a really good matchup because the Celtics have so many guys that can just go off. I mean, you know about Brown and Tatum, but, I mean, Derek White can pop off a 30-point game out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, Porzingis is been injured and is kind of back and forth, but he has the talent to get hot in a game and score. So they just have guys. I mean, Drew Holiday, he's not really a scorer. He's been kind of banged up and out for some of these games, but the names on the Celtics are it's so deep.
Super team.
Without being one, I mean, when you look at the
Without
names,
being like the Miami Heat super team.
But just very well constructed. Brad Stevens has put together just an insane list of names and talent that all meshes together. A lot of talks about they might be blowing it up in the off season, but we'll see. People said this last year.
Just because of contract situations or what?
Yeah, because why would you do that? You're coming
I would imagine, but second apron, they'd hit the second apron, and the bill gets real expensive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Plus, they have new ownership. So, what is new ownership going to want to do, and how willing are they to spend money after just buying them for what, like $6 billion?
Did they really get bought?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was Dave in that?
No.
No, I don't think
No, he was
so.
not.
He didn't have that kind of money.
No, he does not.
I think it was right around 6.
I think it was. I think it was
crazy,
about $6 billion. Yeah,
it was a lot.
It was a crazy amount.
It was a lot.
I know it was like
if Elon bought him, he'd still have $200 billion left.
Yeah,
which is
insane.
Which is crazy. Bought him for 6 because it wasn't that long ago that the Clippers got bought, and that was for 2, and that's LA. So I mean,
yeah, but
the Rockets sold for what 2.1
I think so. Yeah,
for Tita that time. So.
Yeah, but it is LA, but it's not the premier LA team.
Oh yeah.
What would the Lakers be sold for realistically? Probably 8.
I mean, for goodness sakes, the Washington Commanders sold for 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's NFL.
Yeah, but still, NBA contracts are more than NFL contracts. There's so much money in the NBA.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where Lakers.
Is there more money in the NBA or NFL? I mean,
I guess there's more money.
I don't know. Contract-wise, for sure, but you also have a way smaller roster.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things is.
I guess there's more money in the NFL because you break that down. It's in a 17-game schedule. You have to make all this money.
Yeah.
Where the NBA has 42 home games.
That's true.
To make money plus playoffs and everything. But so I guess there is more money to be made.
And I think the Chinese TV deal has a big part in it too. It's more international as well.
Yeah. Basketball is for sure way more international.
So the NBA. This is 2022. They made $10 billion. That was their revenue. And I think it was this last year or the year before, the NFL made $19 billion.
Yeah.
So.
But it's the Celtics. You're buying, if you want to, you can argue
premier.
back and forth. It's undoubtedly one of the 2 most popular brands in the game.
Yeah, so you're buying a brand as much as anything. So.
I would say Lakers. For sure.
It's Lakers, Celtics, Knicks, but I think Lakers and Celtics are still above, mostly just because they've won what 18 or 19 and 17. The Celtics have more, but they just won so many titles.
Yeah.
But the Bulls used to be in that conversation with Michael.
The Bulls only existed when they had Michael.
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
But
they
they
were
were
nothing
international.
before, and they're nothing. They've been nothing
Yeah,
after.
Yeah. But that was such a recognizable time. Like, that was everything then.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, when you have 2 3-peats, I mean, that's
Probably would have won 8 in a row if he doesn't leave.
I would have been interested to see the Bulls and Rockets in the years the Rockets won theirs.
Yeah.
Because that Rockets team was so good too, man. Like,
Real glad he wasn't there, so we could get two titles, because that was. I've been a part of the most recent one, man. Like having a dynastic team or a team capable of winning it all. You're just unfortunately going up against one of the best dynasties of all time.
yeah, like Goliath.
The Rockets
yeah.
have done this twice. I mean, they did it in the mid 2010s. Like
Yeah,
that
with the
team
Warriors.
they were so good year
Yeah.
after year. Went either first or second for a 3 or 4 year span there in the playoffs. Except the Warriors had, arguably, I mean, if you want to go all the way back when the Celtics were winning year after year in the 60s, but in modern era, I mean, just the best dynasty since the Bulls for sure. So
I was gonna say that one, and then
The
when they
Lakers-
lost in 09 to the Lakers, that was a big one too. That's when they had Ron Artest, and like that team was deep too.
Yeah, the Lakers with
But,
Shaq
yeah,
and Kobe
that's
for a
when they had
while,
Shaq.
too.
Oh, yeah, but even that 09 when the Lakers.
oh, you're talking
won
about
it.
dynasties? Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I mean,
Nine-
the
was it-
Spurs, would you, like,
The Spurs are
they were sporadic. They were like,
well.
weren't
I
they
would say
every other year
I
that-
would say the Spurs. If you want to talk about a true dynasty, like over a 20-year run,
Spurs.
unbelievable. But for
Yes.
like a short stint where you just had a stranglehold on the
Like
game,
8 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
That 4-year run, the Lakers just had a stranglehold.
Yeah.
The 6-year run, the Warriors just had a stranglehold. Like
Yeah.
where the Spurs were just like you could every year going in, you knew the Spurs were going to win 50 games and more than likely make a deep playoff run.
Yeah.
And they win 5 titles in 20 years. So
Hey, we
Not
got to
even
see them.
less,
We got
yeah.
to see it in baseball at least.
yeah,
Yeah.
we did.
See a team have a stranglehold. The Astros have kept my fandom of sports alive, just because of everybody else that I root for. So
Yeah. I would say it's going to turn around soon, but, man.
people are hyping up Brian Schottenheimer, but I can't do it. Like the guy's been a assistant coach his entire career, never gotten a head coach interview in his career. But all of a sudden, he's the guy that's going to come in and change the culture. Like,
Yeah. I wouldn't hold my breath.
no,
I feel like yeah, you seem Brian too, like you're not super like hardcore on a one team anymore. Other than the Cowboys.
yeah. I mean,
I guess the Astros too.
yeah, but like the Astros, like I mean, I can't. I'm not a guy that's going to watch all 162 games in a season. Like, I mean, I can't do that. But I mean, I follow along every day, and then I watch the postseason, obviously. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I try to watch games, try to go games. But yeah, but like as far as like college sports, like I just
For sure.
love watching it. So,
Yeah, I mean same.
and I just hope that someday our Bobcats will be decent at something. So,
Yeah. I definitely don't hold your breath.
no. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens when we go to the Pac-12, but
Yeah, I guess.
maybe things will change a little bit. But
Yeah, I don't know.
can we put it back on the other games? Is it back on?
It's back on, but we can watch it with you.
We'll put it on the fourth quarter when it's close.
There you go.
Yeah. Or y'all can
What
watch
is it
me
at
cry
now?
on live
Is it
TV.
12?
It's 13.
Yeah, it's still early.
Yeah. 4 minutes into the third quarter, we're starting to get off early.
Yeah.
To be down double digits at home to a team with much more experience.
Still time. You never know.
Yeah.
Steven Adams just got to step up again. Just be the lifesaver. Got to turn to Khal Drogo again.
This is a hell of a game 7 though we got here in going on
In Winnipeg.
In Winnipeg.
The Blues and the Jets.
Yeah.
It is electric though. Playoff hockey.
How much of the playoff hockey you been watching?
Oh, quite a bit. it's nice because it's on pretty late. So when things are over, when winding down, I just pop it on, and obviously Game 7s are
overtime of a Game 7, like every single play, you're like on the edge of your seat because it could end at any moment.
Yeah, which leads me to the Stars and Avalanche. Man, like, talk about a roller coaster of emotions. On that one, I was watching. It was the end of LSU A&M last night, and as soon as that was over, I popped it onto the game, and that's when Dallas just took over in the third period. It was crazy, down 2-0, and they just Rantanen, who came over from the Avalanche, and from my understanding, a lot of the players on the Avalanche did not want him traded because he's obviously a very good player. A hat trick in the third period to seal the deal was crazy.
Insane.
All in the third. Yeah, all in the
Was
third.
that Game
period.
7?
That was Game
Game
7,
7.
man.
Damn.
And they looked dead to rights in the first two periods. It was 2-0. They had nothing going. And then he had a solo goal out of nowhere, and then an assist to tie it, and then the go-ahead goal. And the last 2.5 minutes were just sweaty because the Avalanche were just pushing everybody forward, pulled their goalie.
That's what's always crazy, man. Like whenever like they just like full on just push and just leave
absolute,
empty net, like just
absolute assault. And Dallas, the Avalanche had a few chances, like really good opportunities too, and the goalie came through, but it was sweaty. And then Rantanen got his hat trick on the open net goal at the end, which is good for him. And then they play the winner of this game next round. But
So do you kind of know, like, I mean, like I've watched hockey not like enough, but I don't understand like substitutions and stuff. Like, how does that work?
it's just
Because they kind of just jump in and
they
out,
rotate
right?
the whole game.
Like it's
Absolutely.
in play though, right? Like they're just
Yeah.
gonna jump in and
Once
out.
like on like the puck's on this side of the ice right now, there could be substitutions
Absolutely.
on the, I guess those are like defensive men or whatever they call them. Or?
Typically, the defensemen, they stay on the ice the longest because
Okay.
they're not really skating back and forth. So they have different lines that they run. So they have like forwards and wings that like they switch in and out. They probably go 2-minute spurts, and then they'll come in and out,
Okay.
which is important for time on ice if you're betting over under time on ice. So, and then power play lines too. So they have different lines for power plays. But yeah, so whenever they substitute, you just can't be on the ice. You can't have too many minutes on the ice during that time where it's a penalty, and then they have to play man down. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Right?
it's these guys are, man. We talk about at my work quite a bit about like what sport has the most athletic like players. Hockey players have to be up there, man.
Oh yeah, dude. Like
And these guys are not like 5'8", 180 pounds. They're 6'4", 220 pounds, just coming to rip your head off, and they can skate 25 miles an hour, something stupid, forwards and backwards the same speed.
Stop on a dime, like
Yeah.
That's
It's crazy.
they played through so much
So
stuff.
now
too,
they're going, yeah, oh, unbelievable. So now St. Louis is going down a man because they hit the puck out of play on purpose.
2-minute power
delay
play.
a game, so 2-minute power play here, so they're playing man down. So this is a big opportunity for the Jets.
Yeah, seems intense.
Dude,
Oh,
it
it's
is
like-
yeah. I'll agree with that statement of it. It's
intense.
very intense.
And I really hadn't been into it very much. But whenever we went to Boston to go watch the Astros and Red Sox, the Bruins were in the playoffs against the Islanders. It was in New York for Game 6, and they needed to win that to bring it back to Boston for a Game 7. They ended up losing, but the whole like people around the city were just you could just feel how electric and
It was
like on
electric,
edge
yeah.
people were, and like in the bars they were all like it was crazy. It was really cool.
Because Boston's kind of like one of the big time franchises too,
Yeah,
right?
the
Like,
Bruins are huge.
That's what I thought. Like,
I think they're down now. They had a run where they were really good. Right now, the favorites are probably the Florida Panthers to repeat. They're really good too.
really?
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Like, who was kind of on top?
And the Maple Leafs are really good, but they're like
They always just fall apart.
Yeah, they're like the laughing stock because every year they're really good, and then they just get bounced in the playoffs when they should win the series. They
lost in the cup last year, right? To the Panthers.
No,
not the final.
Edmonton lost in the final,
Yeah,
right? The
it was
Oilers.
Edmonton, Florida,
Okay.
which Canada hasn't won the Stanley Cup in a very
For-
long
It's like
time.
since
Ever.
'93 or something.
A
I
very
saw.
long
Like,
I don't know
it's
if
kind
it's
of crazy.
that. It's a long
been a
long
while.
time.
And a lot of people thought the Leafs or the Oilers were going to be it.
Speaking of, is it the Oilers and the Kings that have played like 5 straight years?
Oh.
It almost ended. One of them has been in the same matchup every year for like the last like 5 years in the first round. I think it's the Oilers and the Kings,
Maybe.
and the Oilers have beat them every year, including this year, if that's the right one.
Yeah, the
Wow.
Oilers are good. They have Connor McDavid,
McDavid,
who's
yeah.
a monster. But yeah, they have Las Vegas next, which Las Vegas has been really good since they came into the league.
Yeah.
What
That
a
is so-
save, man.
That was not on purpose.
No,
at all.
no, that's crazy. Just a deflection. God. Imagine being a goalie too. You're
Oh,
just sitting
dude.
there taking shots. You don't know what's coming at you. And those pucks come in at like 90 miles an hour.
I was like, dude, it probably didn't matter how much padding you're wearing. You get smoked by one of those things. Like,
Yeah, just like taking a slap shot from Happy Gilmore. Secret of the secret of a great slap shot, dude.
those regulation or what?
Why hasn't has any team ever just tried to go get an offensive lineman, just a 6'8", 400-pound,
Just put him in the net.
just throw him in the
cover it
net,
up.
just cover it
Just
up,
cover up every.
never
every
has to
angle.
move. He just sits there.
I mean,
Cause like goalies, like when you look at
Oh.
them, goalies look bigger, but it's because they have so much extra padding and stuff.
if that'd
But
be
they're the
shorthanded.
same size as the rest of these other guys.
I'm
And I
guessing
know they have to be very athletic and stuff,
Yeah.
but like
if you just cover up
if you just
everything,
put like who was that defensive lineman from Florida? He's like 464 pounds, something Watson or
just plug up a hole.
and he's still wearing all that padding. Like, just let the guy just kneel there for.
Get Vince Wilfork in the goal. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, has anybody tried that? It didn't go well. That's why they don't do it. But and you got to find that amount of space, man. If you just fill up the space, they just can't score.
you gotta be
Yeah.
so quick too, though.
And-
like,
but some of those-
reacting those goals and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you
But
just,
some of those linemen have some pretty good feet.
yeah.
You know, you
Really
gotta,
good.
You got to have good feet to stay on the ice. You know.
guess you got to be able to skate a little bit, just to
little,
not just to not fall.
Yeah.
And
And you
you're
got
400 pounds, and do you know how to skate?
and can you handle a stick?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you do have to kick it out sometimes. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
again, if you just fill the hole, like, do you really need it? just sit
Just
there.
sit there. Yeah.
Just like tucking the line.
Yeah. Be like at Happy Gilmore. 364 more days to next year's hockey. Just taking everything off the chest for 3 periods.
But the goal that put Dallas up ahead, it's so impressive, like how accurate they are with their shots too. The angle that he scored on was pretty much maybe like 15 degrees, just right in the.
Really?
He was like right on the side of the net and just found a hole and put it away. It was crazy. But yeah, it's intense. It's fun to watch.
Oh.
Dang, right at him.
God,
Man.
dude, they're making so many pushes.
It's crazy. But yeah, it's so much fun. I hope they all go to Game 7s. I just love watching it.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
I do like watching the Stars. I hope they win, and they won last night without one of their best defensive players and one of their best attackers,
Really?
which is crazy. They were out. And,
Injury or what?
Yeah, injury.
Oh, wow.
So it must be pretty.
No
like,
joke, yeah.
Like the way these guys go, like, they have to be hospitalized pretty much for them to not go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
God, dude.
Mm.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Good puck. Good puck.
Did y'all watch any college baseball at all this week?
Just what I was watching with you
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah, LSU ended up dropping the series. They lost the first game. They won the second one. Anthony Ianson threw a complete game. He gave up 1 earned run on a solo homer. They won 2-1. He was
Oh, really?
14 Ks. Yeah, I think LSU
14? Wow.
I think LSU had 30 Ks
Damn.
in the first 2 games. Their pitching staff, and then today they were up 4-2 in the 8th inning and gave up just it's the epitome of baseball. Like,
It's just one after another. It's just
no, Jay Johnson, the head coach, I think got too pretty with it. He was playing matchup out of the bullpen with every at bat. I think we had 4 pitchers in that 8th inning come in. Just, I don't know. And then, so one of their guys had a leadoff double, and then strikeout, ground out to advance him to third. So there's 2 outs, and then Lavalette, their best hitter, comes up, pitch and change for a lefty-lefty matchup. The dude made the right pitch. Lavalette just was way out in front on a changeup and hit the end of the cap of the bat and just rolled it to third to score the run, and he didn't get him out at he couldn't. He beat it out at first.
Dang.
And then the next guy hits he gets jammed, bloops it out over the second baseman's head.
Just like those little things, nothing you can do about it.
Like the right pitches, and then the next guy comes up and hits an oppo bomb to put him up 6-4.
It was 6-4. That was final, right?
Yeah.
That's
The pitches were right. It just that's baseball.
It's a big series for A&M.
That's what I was telling Will.
Massive series.
A&M needed that way more
Had
than
to have
LSU
it.
did.
Had to have
Yeah.
it. Still, we still have a lot of work to do, but
Yeah.
the door's not shut. It's still cracked.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure we went over it last week. What series y'all have left?
Mizzou at home, and then we go to Georgia,
Yeah.
which
Mizzou still.
it's winnable. It's winnable
Yeah.
or doable, I should say.
Mizzou still doesn't have a win.
I'll say you get the next 3.
You should.
I do not want to be sitting on this couch next Sunday if we drop a game
I
to
think-
Missouri.
I think who it was Georgia that played. They went into extra innings
With Mizzou.
with Mizzou. I don't know what ended up happening. I think Georgia won. Yep, they swept. So that was one of Mizzou's best opportunities to get a win. Blew it.
Mm.
And it's in College Station.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So you'll go to Georgia to close the season.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Tough, but we have played better on the road in the SEC at least. It seems so.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all played well against LSU. LSU, they didn't hit the ball well at all.
I mean,
LSU did.
if we could have started the season after we got no hit against Tennessee, this looks like the team.
Be in great shape.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're not the number 1 team. Don't get me wrong, but we're back to being a postseason bound baseball team if that team plays all year.
And I think all projections have A&M getting in. I think the only teams not getting in, well, Mississippi State's kind of making a run, but South Carolina and Mizzou are out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
but
Mississippi State, if they continue to do what they're doing now, they'll get in. But A&M, from the projections,
we haven't dropped a non-conference midweek game, and most of them we're blowing the socks off of everybody.
Yeah, you'll have Texas State.
No, I'm saying since.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was
no.
gonna say
No.
Texas State got that
Again,
dub.
since we got no hit,
Gotcha, yeah.
we haven't been dropping those dumb midweek games, and
Yeah.
most of them have been run ruled in 7, kind of
Yeah.
taking care of business like we should have been. And I understand we got swept at Texas, but it was a super competitive series.
I'll say they didn't play bad.
They lost 3 games by a total of 3 runs, 1 run each game.
Yeah.
Again, that stinks, but it's baseball. But I just like to see that we're playing better baseball.
And again, it's on the road. It's
Against who, whatever you want to say about Texas, but they're still a good baseball team. So
yeah. They won't be number 1 this
I'll
week.
say former
No.
number 1 got swept.
Yeah, they got
this
swept
weekend.
at Arkansas, pretty handedly too.
Yeah, man.
9-0, 6-1, and then I think
13-8.
was it 13-8?
Yeah.
They got shelled pretty good. Supposedly, what I was seeing on Twitter and stuff, a lot of it was self-imposed stuff. They were walking people, hitting batters, doing all that stuff. Which again, that goes to my point. You're not in the friendly confines of the place you play all the time. It messes with pitchers. It messes with hitters. The batter's eye changes. You got to stay in hotels.
Well, kind of
routine
like
changes, and especially if you're playing a good team like Arkansas. Arkansas is for sure, in my opinion, one of the top 8 teams in the country. Like, you have to go and do that against that. Like,
well, and like we
it's
talked
not
about,
easy.
Like we talked about too. That's the first real road test that Texas has had.
And they failed pretty bad.
Yeah. So I mean, which I think it's good for a team like that to get that. It's kind of like a little wake up call. Like,
For sure.
Hey, like we're not just gonna just keep rolling everybody. Like, you still gotta keep playing and stay consistent. Like,
Yeah.
this is the worst time to start not playing
And
well.
and that's exactly my point. Like, LSU dropping the series to A&M, that's obviously it sucks, especially if you have a lead going into the 8th inning. That's awful. I think that's LSU's first loss after leading after 7 this year.
Wow.
Which you never want to see that, but I'd rather get these games over with now instead of doing that in a super regional,
Oh, for sure.
And just, again, it's baseball. Things happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it wasn't like they pissed down their leg. I
Yeah.
mean, they just happened to have the baseball gods on our side for half an inning.
Yeah,
And the ball just bounces the right way.
Yep.
and that definitely happens. But it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens in Hoover in a few weeks with the tournament. This is the first season that it's all 16 teams, but it's the first season that's single elimination too.
Really?
Yeah, it used to be double elimination up until the final, just a 1 game.
So is it single all the way through, or
All
is
the way
it-
through.
So it's not even a series for the final.
No, it's never been a series for the
Oh.
final. It's been double elimination up until the final.
For the tournament?
Yeah, for the SEC tournament. Yeah. So it's the first year it's
Kind of
single.
interesting concept though too. Like if you come out of the losers bracket,
Oh, you got to grind.
yeah, well you got to grind, but then it's like you start playing well, and then you just got to
Yeah.
win once instead of 2 out of 3. Like,
Because that's happened to LSU multiple times where they'll go undefeated in the beginning, and then the team from the losers bracket will play them in the final, and then they lose, and I'm just like, well, if it was a series, like technically we only have 1 loss, you only have 1 loss in the tournament, but
yeah,
it's just too many games to play over the course of
oh,
a
for
league.
sure.
It's
Tough on a
just-
pitching staff.
So-
especially
oh,
after the
God.
long season too.
Yeah,
And then you got to roll right into a regional.
and they have the thing where I think the top 4 seeds get a bye, so that helps a lot for sure for pitching staff for the teams that earn that. Because again, I don't know if I think we talked about it last week, but I just don't know if Texas has the depth, pitching staff wise.
Especially now that they lost their Friday guy.
Yeah, Spencer,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if
Jared
they'll be able to
Spencer
do it
or whatever.
not. Yeah.
That's huge. That's such a big loss because their best bullpen arm is now their Friday night guy, the kid from Wimberley.
Yeah. So it impacts everything else now.
Yeah, it's just down the line, which is probably why they gave up 13 runs on Saturday on the game 3.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know,
So Clemson will be number 1, you think now?
no, they either got swept or they lost the series. They lost the series to Florida State,
Okay.
or actually, I don't know if they did. It was 10-0 Florida State, and then I guess Florida State's bullpen was imploding last time I saw.
So they won 20-9. Florida State did.
They put up 20. Yeah. So no, Clemson won't be. If LSU would have held the line today, they probably would have been the number 1 team, which I don't really care. You want to be the number 1 team at the end of the season. It
Yeah,
doesn't- like,
exactly.
polls don't matter.
Right now
if
you-
you're a top 8 seed, you want to be a top 8
You want to
seed,
be a top 8. I agree with that 100%.
and you don't even have to be top 8 in the polls as long as like the committee puts you in top 8, because the top 8 seeds aren't always the top 8 teams in the country either. Because I'm sure some people in a room in Dallas or wherever, just like in football,
Can
are
decide.
saying, "Oh, I think this team's better," but instead of just doing it by merit. But yeah, it's number 1 teams, and the way number 1s have been going, every team that's gotten number 1, they only last there a few weeks and then they get beat.
Oh, yeah. And it's like basketball, where it's just like so up and
Yeah.
down just throughout the year.
That doesn't matter at all. Arkansas, I mean, I don't know if they're going to put Arkansas at number 1, but they might.
Well, I think they were like, number 11 or something?
Yeah, they lost 3 series in a row before coming in.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe.
I don't know who will be,
I mean,
honestly.
Florida State, maybe? And
Yeah.
taking 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
I don't know how North Carolina did,
Yeah.
but
Miami, I think, is only a game out of the lead in the ACC, too. Miami's been rolling,
yeah. Well, they weren't ranked, though, so.
which is crazy.
Yeah, if they've been playing well. Yeah, that's kind of surprising.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting coming down the stretch. It should be fun. Only a few weekends left. The regular season.
So there's only two series though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, two weekends left, and then the tournament, and then we're rolling. Oh my God, the stick just snapped.
I thought he slung it into the stands.
Crazy, man.
Just playing without a
Like this is OT, but it's been 15 minutes and
Nothing.
nothing. Like it's God. How the Rock's doing?
I'm getting a little superstitious because they've cut it to 6,
Well, they should
Cut
not,
to
should I
3.
not switch it back.
and now it's down to 3, and now I'm like, I get that. I ain't gonna lie, man. I get that way.
I do too.
If I haven't been
do
watching
too.
something and they go on a run,
But we have to turn on the fourth quarter.
I know. But you
I'm
know,
the same way.
a large part of me is like, man,
Let it ride.
If we get a second OT in hockey, I may not be that mad about it because they're doing a lot better without me watching.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
then this will not be the good end of the podcast, and I don't know how. Hopefully it is. Hopefully we're winning. I'll be happy. But if we go the other way,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a little rough.
not great.
Yeah.
How I guess we can go switch to baseball now. So we were talking about the Astros. They
God,
lost their stuff this weekend.
To-
Decided to lose 2 out of 3 to the second worst team in the major leagues.
Yeah. The Chicago White Sox. And was it yesterday when they wore their Bulls theme uniform? Did y'all
They
see
won
that?
all weekend, I think.
Was it all
Oh,
weekend?
because
Yeah.
it's their City Connect version. That's how you know you're a terrible franchise when you just spice up what you're doing. You just go back to the city's best time in sports.
I mean, I didn't mind them.
Make it a Bulls
I
theme.
think they're
Yeah.
a decent jersey.
Then in the collar it has
The championships.
of the White Sox and the Bulls.
I saw that.
And it looks so weird because they did it in chronological order, but
In different colors.
but it looks like it's backwards because there's some from like 15 and 19, but
Yep.
that's 19, 15,
Yep.
and 19.
I saw those.
And then you get to 05? Was it when they won? Was it
yeah,
05?
it was
Yeah.
05.
Like over the
I
Stros.
unfortunately know that. 'Cause,
Yeah, like over the Stros. But yeah, white for the White Sox, red for the Bulls. But
We're the Bears in there, dude.
right, like if you're gonna make it all about Chicago
And the Blackhawks,
and
man.
the Cubs, just
Oh, God, imagine.
Put some blue in there.
throw in the Cubs championship.
God, imagine.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's not a good showing for the Astros. Jake Myers went off.
Yeah, I saw he tied or set the franchise record for total bases in a game.
That's
2 home runs, a triple, and a double.
yeah, it was a single away from the cycle, which is crazy. And
He had more RBIs yesterday than he had the entire season
7.
coming in.
Yeah,
He only had 6 the rest of the year.
that's crazy. But I mean, if he can get going or at least stay like consistently hitting, he don't have to. Obviously, he's not going to do that every night. But if he can hit 250, I mean, you take that with his defensive like duties in center.
Well, it's like I know we've talked about it before though, but like the lineup's just so frustrating because either they do really well or they they don't score. Like there's no in between. Like
Yeah, I was in and out of checking the scores, but I saw they were up 4-0
today, yeah.
And they just, man, was it that Taylor Scott guy again?
I know Gusto gave up 3. Okert ended up getting the loss.
I saw he got the loss.
So
But man, like, what are you doing? It's the White Sox, man.
You cannot lose.
Especially and McCullers threw pretty well.
he did okay. He had 3 walks.
Yeah, but I mean,
Threw
his
80s.
first
He
game
hasn't
back
pitched
and
since World War II.
Yeah,
I mean, he had 87 pitches in 3 2/3 innings. I mean, he threw a ton of pitches.
Yeah. But you take the zeros on the board. That's what you're out there
Oh,
for.
yeah, for sure.
It's a win, and it was a good series for him to come back against the White Sox. Where, I mean, it wasn't even though he lost, but it just sucks. You go and you win the series against Detroit, who's a good club, and then they go and do that.
Well, they've been playing pretty well up until this point.
Yeah.
Like,
But even over the years where we were very good, I feel like the Astros just do that against bad teams.
I mean, like the
Against
last
the
2 years.
A's.
That's what I say. The last several years against the A's, like just losing.
And
stupid
they did that
games.
against the Tigers as well down the stretch when the Tigers were bad.
Yeah.
That was before Hinch was there. They were bad, and they were losing series to the Tigers and the A's. It's just like, what? I mean, I know it's baseball, but jeez, man, just take care of your business.
Win the games you're supposed to win. Like,
Because again, if the Astros are in crunch time to win the division and they lose by a game, you look back at the series, you're like
Yes.
what went wrong here?
exactly.
Obviously, 162 games is a lot, but whenever the division races are so close,
The last couple of years, it's
Which is
come down to that
expected to
last
be,
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
you just can't be losing. A lot of people are like, games don't matter in April and May, but man,
They absolutely
they
do.
all count the same.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
What's most frustrating to me right now is like Jordan. Like he just
Jordan and Walker.
not seeing the ball well. Walker's not seeing the ball well.
Altuve
like,
had a rough couple weeks.
Yeah, Altuve started off well, and then he's just really he's been on a bad slump. And
What's
then,
really cool though is seeing Bregman and Tucker
Just
having unbelievable
yeah,
years.
MVP caliber years.
dude, which is absolutely stupid because if you look at their time in Houston, they were never great players.
They
in
never had
April.
stretches like this.
Yeah, well,
Kyle
like,
Tucker did last year before he got
Got
hurt.
hurt, yeah.
But
He,
they
he
might
was
have
on an
stretches-
RBI pace that was unbelievable.
Yeah, he was in MVP conversation for
Yeah.
sure.
but I want to see Bregman's stats like in April, like throughout his career. Like
Last year he had to hit like
Buck 50?
not even.
that's what I'm saying.
Last
like,
April was so bad. It took him till what, June to get over 200.
Yes, and,
April
and
was
now
so
all
bad.
of a sudden he's player of the month.
Yeah, 330
Like,
with like 8 home runs, 25
Yeah.
RBIs. Tucker's already got 30 RBIs.
That's and again, Tucker was on a crazy RBI pace last
yeah,
year.
he was. I mean,
Um,
they're both good players, but
They are, but man, you're just like, where was? And we were talking with our buddy about it. Does it come down to the hitting coach? Like, because there's no plausible explanation that they're
I mean, our lineup is not good right now,
No.
average wise. I mean, the only bright spot to me is Jeremy Pena's looked pretty good in the leadoff spot.
Yeah.
Ever since they made that change,
Yes.
I think he has a hit in all but like one game, and he's multiple hits in quite a few. So,
But-
that's been a bright spot. But other than that,
but seeing
we don't have a single guy. What
over 300 now.
is he? It's either Pena or Altuve. He's like 280, and everybody else is like 250 and below.
But on the other aspect of it, like on the flip side, Bregman and Tucker are going off, and then Christian Walker comes in here and is like absolutely god awful.
We're just
Is it the batter's eye? Because we suck at home anyway.
Well, this is
And-
actually
and-
the first year in a while they're actually playing better at home.
But are they hitting the ball well at home? Like, they're not hitting the ball well at
I
all.
think pitching's just better.
Yeah,
yeah.
because Bregman has always done very well at Fenway.
Yeah.
Every time he goes to Fenway, he did well with the Astros. Like it just-
That's always been the thing that I feel like there's something in that ballpark, where it's the batter's eye or something that's
something's
throwing
off.
hitters
Something's
off.
off.
But on the other end, like, why is it not affecting visiting hitters? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, but I feel like teams aren't coming in there and like lighting up the scoreboard either.
true. Yeah, I don't know what it is. That's the only thing I can really think. I mean, yeah, like right now, like Jake Myers in 303 right now.
Yeah, with limited at bats.
And then,
I'm sure he raised his batting average 100 points in the last 2 days.
I mean, he's played in 32 games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
He
So
has
someone has
way-
to play center.
True.
He only has 89 at bats. I mean, it is
Yeah.
fewer, but then Pena's hitting 282, and then the next DeZenzo's hitting 283 in limited action.
He had a bomb today.
yeah, but
crushed
like
a baseball.
the next highest consistent starter is Altuve hitting 260 right now.
And he started like the first 2 weeks. He was hitting like 350.
Yeah,
so
he was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like right now, Walker's hitting 200.
I got to 200 at least.
Jordan's hitting 210. Like it's rough.
And there's still a lot of baseball.
we
left.
just
Like,
finished the first month, like,
But
and
It
we're in a
is-
division that's kind of underwhelming right now.
Well, for me, it's just the strikeouts. Like Walker struck out 39 times. Altuve, which Altuve's always been a strikeout machine. Like he has 29 strikeouts, but
yeah,
I don't know.
there's still a lot of baseball. What was our record last year at this point?
Terrible.
We were so bad.
You know, like that's one thing to think about too. There's still a lot of time to get it right, but again, every game that you're dropping against teams that you should beat,
Yep.
it could be a game changer for the division. But
You know, right now the A's are in second place.
Yes.
They're 19-16 with a minus 22 run differential.
yeah, and again,
Sacramento, baby.
over the
Yeah.
course of a 162 game series, that's not sustainable.
No.
No,
That's
and,
not
and
sustainable.
don't we have a plus run differential and are barely
Plus
over
13,
we're
yeah.
barely over 500. So
The Mariners are playing well right now, though.
What are they?
They're 20-13.
Yeah.
They got plus 29 run differential, so.
good pitching staff.
And they're hitting the baseball now, but
Yeah.
Amazing what happens when you hit the baseball.
it's pretty,
Amazing.
pretty sweet.
Couldn't imagine.
If we could just have every game pitched by Hunter Brown, we'd be fine.
Well, they lost the game one. Were you through?
Yeah.
No, they won his start in
He
Chicago.
pitched yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, was he yesterday?
Yeah, he had one of his worst.
Framber pitched Friday.
He had one of his worst games in his last 5 starts. He gave up 3 runs, but we still won.
In the first inning.
I think he still has under a 2 ERA. Like he's
Yeah,
an
he got
unbelievable.
robbed. He got robbed pitcher of the month.
Yeah, Max Fried plays in New York, so they gave him pitcher of the month.
Yeah.
Like, stupid. Yeah, it could be worse, though. Could be the Colorado Rockies.
That's true.
Man. Everybody dogged the White Sox so much last year. I mean, rightfully so. They had the most losses ever in a season. Colorado is on pace to shatter that. They're not even on pace to win 30 games. Well, they might be now, because they did win 2 in a row this week. But at one point they were like 4-28. I think they have 6 wins now.
They have 6 wins. They have a minus 89 run differential. They
And
have
it's-
34 games.
In a month.
And I mean, I know it's not as bad because we don't play as many interdivision games, but they still play more interdivision games than other. And
Yeah.
in that division, they're not winning many games.
Brutal.
I mean, that entire division is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's the legitimate chance they lose 130. Forget 120. There's a legitimate chance they lose 130 games.
That would be
They are so bad.
unbelievable.
I mean, but this y'all name me one Colorado Rocky right now. That's not Chris Bryant.
I didn't even know Chris Bryant still played for him. So
Oh, he got hurt again. So
Oh, it's what's his name?
yeah, exactly. That's how you can't name a single thing.
Trevor Story.
He's with Boston. Blackman retired, so you can't use him. I mean, like it's that bad. Like I don't know a single cat that's playing for
Even
Colorado.
looking at their roster, I still don't know any of them.
I don't know who the manager. I don't know anything about the Rockies.
I was gonna say Troy Tulowitzki.
Which
I literally don't know a single player on this team.
Let's go back to the intermission.
and just like this, it's a 13-point game, and it was down to 3. Brian turned the game back on, and we immediately gave up 5 straight points to Steph.
Hey, at least they were already down 8. So
Well, we're gonna watch hockey instead, folks. You don't have to see me have a complete meltdown on this couch.
just see you turn as red as your shirt and just like shake a little bit. Like,
Yeah, you'd have to do
Yeah.
some editing to bleep out everything I'd be saying. So
Again, I'm not a big basketball guy, but I want to see the Rockets win. Like, I don't know.
yeah, I'm in. Yeah,
I mean, they remind me a lot of like what the Thunder were last year. The Thunder played very well, which I know what you're talking about, but they played really well and then they got beat in the first round. Like it's the same kind of thing. Like it's just a very young team that played. I mean, you could say they overperformed this year, and so
yeah. I said it a couple weeks ago where I was like, even if we lose in the first round, that's still a successful season. We've progressed a lot. Guys are getting better and better. You're playing against not a deep Warriors team, but 2 of the better playoff. I mean, the best scorer of all time, shooter of all time, and playoff Jimmy Butler is just a different animal. A lot more experience over there, so I wouldn't have been terribly upset now that we're here in Game 7. This stinks.
Well, I think the most
This
frustrating
stinks.
part of it is the fact that like it's the Warriors. Like I feel like if you're playing the Timberwolves or like whoever, like and you lose, it's like okay, like
But
it's still a good season.
they
but
kicked us every year when we were good.
that's what I'm saying.
To
like,
finally
and so,
have a chance to like atone for all of that and beat them, and then you get down 3-1, you win the next 2,
dominate the next two.
I was gonna say fairly handedly, and you look like this is the team. You get Game 7 at home, and now we get this.
Yeah.
And now we get this.
Still 11 minutes left.
There's 11 minutes left. I saw T-Mac score, was it 11 that time to beat the Spurs in like 40 seconds?
13
so,
and 28 seconds.
There you go.
I still remember that game.
Yeah. So nothing's ever impossible, but this is it's a tough spot.
Big hill.
Steph's getting hot.
Hey,
Steph's getting hot.
You don't want to bring T-Mac up with the playoffs, though. That's a bad move.
We don't. I mean, the Rockets don't have any. I mean, James Harden used to turn into Casper the Ghost in the playoffs. Like, Jalen Green has been absolutely awful this series. Besides Game 2 when he made 8 threes and scored 38 points, but the only guy that's showed up consistently is Fred VanVleet. He's the only reason we even have a game.
Steven Adams.
Starting in Game 6,
Yeah.
but yeah. But Van Vliet's the only reason we're even having a Game 7 because the dude's been shooting lights out the last 3 games.
A friend of ours said yesterday that Jalen Green is the worst player that he's ever seen in his life.
We gave him a big ass rookie extension too, so. But
he loves to shoot. I know that.
Again, I mean, I'm a even though I'll get heat in the moment, I am a realistic fan of all of my teams, and it's still not. If we're to lose, it's not a failure of a season. We've gotten better. We've got more experience. The only problem I foresee right now is we're doing the same thing again. We're going to get good, but the Thunder are also going to exist in the same conference, and we're just going to be like, the next 5 years it feels as a crash course of the Rockets and Thunder, and the Thunder got the jump, which is kind of what the Warriors-Rockets was in the mid-20 teens.
You're battling against a potential dynasty again when you're really good.
Good. Yeah. And this team got really good this year, and it's super young. You know, a 7-game series is going to do wonders for experience. You know, Amin Thompson is flying on the cusp of being a budding star. Sengun's good. Jalen Green can be good. We've unfortunately already paid him, so we're kind of stuck with him. You know, at some point, we can't pay all these guys. We're not trading for Giannis. Do not trade for Giannis. We don't have any shooting. If you're going to trade for somebody, please get us some shooting. You already have Thompson, elite defender who doesn't shoot the ball great. Dylan Brooks can get streaky, good defender, doesn't shoot the ball great. Van Fleet's our best shooter, shot terrible all year. Jalen Green's a volume scorer. He has to shoot 28 times to score points. And he'll go in spurts where he'll shoot 50, 40, 40 from the field, or 50, 90, 40 from the field. 50, 40, 90, let me get it straight. And then he'll also shoot 25, 10, and 50. Like, it's crazy. But
Sengun for Giannis, who says no?
I say no.
Straight up trade.
Oh, well then yes. Yeah, but no, we'd have to give up.
Yeah,
we'd have to give up 2 or 3 first-round picks, along with Green, a combination of Green, Jabari Smith, and probably Reed Shepherd, who were all top 3 picks in the last 5 drafts.
But you have to do something, no?
You got to get shooting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You have to make some kind of move to take the next step.
I mean,
But who's available? That's the question.
We have the Suns pick in the draft, so if it falls inside the top 10, we get to keep it. If it falls outside the top 10, it goes to
OKC. I think we talked about.
It might be OKC, actually.
I think that's what you said.
Yeah. But this is not a deep draft. It's really a 2-horse race, and it's really a horse and a half, in my opinion. It's Cooper Flagg, and then you got Harper from Rutgers. Some people are pretty high on him. And then Ace Bailey's kind of the next guy, but it's not a...
Descendant of Secretariat?
Yes, all of them. Yeah. But it's just kind of... It's not a deep draft because everybody's leaving after 1 year of college. And, if they would stay 2 or 3 years, they would be a lot better. So it's going to take that time.
Yeah.
And they're either going to take 2 or 3 years and develop or they're going to flop. But anyway, get a shooter. That's what they need to do. But talking about the Thunder and talking about the Rockets pick could go to them. If all the protections fall the right way and the draft lottery, if the balls bounce the right way, the Thunder could end up with 5 first-round picks in this draft.
5?
It's 4 or 5. I'm pretty dang sure it's 5.
Could you imagine?
A lot of things have to happen the way it all falls, but between pick swaps and trades they've had in the past, they could end up with, pretty dang sure it's 5 first-round picks. The odds were like next to nothing, but there's a possibility.
That's one thing I will say, dude. Like the NBA draft, like the pick swaps and the protected
confusing.
and unprotected and all that. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Presti's the GOAT. Sam Presti's unbelievable about drafting the right guys, getting value, and then somehow always having assets.
I don't watch a lot of basketball, but like, what would like someone like Cam Thomas do for the Rockets?
Jalen Green 2.0.
Yeah,
Doesn't play great defense. Is a streaky shooter.
yeah,
Could pop off for 40 at any given night, but can
Yeah.
also just be ice cold.
yeah.
So
Because when you talk about like when you talk about a score, like who would be your
I don't know what the free agent class.
no
even
no
looks
say there's
like.
say everybody's a free agent. Like who would you be your guy? Who would be your target?
Jeez.
Like it's wide open. I don't know. That's why I pose it.
Right now, if I'm picking just a guy, if anybody's available, I'm taking SGA.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
I'm taking SGA because he's young, still athletic. He doesn't play elite defense, but he can defend.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm picking a young scorer, yeah, I'm not touching Luka, which is crazy to say out
No.
loud. But if anybody watched the Lakers series, like he's a cancer on defense.
Yeah, liability.
So yeah, I would go SGA, but again, that's not realistic.
That's not no not
not realistic at all. But
What do you think about like Devin Booker though? Because I know like his name comes up.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if there were any names popping up about possible like destinations for
Phoenix needs to tear it down. Unfortunately, I think Phoenix will tear it down
slowly.
by Durant, either a slow death or they'll try to dump Durant and Bradley Beal somehow. They won't trade Booker. I'm sure they'll want to try to keep him a son for life kind of thing if
Oh yeah, I mean,
if they could. But yeah, I mean somebody of that prototype. I mean, I don't know.
Is how old is the dude from the Bulls who's with the Warriors now?
Bulls for the Warriors. Oh, Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Oh, he came from the Heat.
He's like
Oh, he was the Bulls a while back.
Yeah.
He's like 35.
He's 35.
He's old,
He's
okay.
35. Yeah, there's not just a ton of those guys. I mean, a young, good scorer. I mean, like Tyler Hero, but he's probably committed to Miami.
Yeah.
Take a little bit to get him. It kind of seems like Trae Young's done with Atlanta, but
And it sounds
it's not really a.
from hearing you talk about it a little bit, it seems like Houston has some prospects to be able to give up to make a good trade.
Yeah, I mean, Houston has good
Assets.
good draft capital, and like now's a good time to be spending that because
way.
you don't need to really have to build through the draft. I just hate when teams do this. They get these good young players and then immediately flop them in picks for like a 35-year-old guy out of his prime.
Yep.
And immediately take their window from being good and competitive, could possibly win a title for like an 8-year window, down to
2.
literally 2.
Yeah.
Like, and that's you see it. I think you see it more often. Like, very few teams are doing what OKC's doing, and like going through the slow process. Like, you look at a team like Philadelphia. Philly tried it. They literally named it the process. They were doing it right, building, and when they thought Embiid's window was open, they shucked all the young talent and tried to bring in people. They bring in James Harden. They brought in Paul George. They've done all this stuff, and they're immediately terrible.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons busted. That's not really. I mean,
Simmons was
Yeah.
bad.
busted. That's not really on them. But the point is, like, that's a team that tried it and got impatient. If you ride the wave like they have an OKC, and I mean, they look like they could be the next Warriors type dynasty. That if they can hold this team together, could hang around for a while.
Is Ben Simmons still playing?
He was on the Clippers.
Oh, really? Was he playing at all?
Yeah, like 15 to 18 minutes a game.
I'll say it's limited. It's not.
He's
He's not. He's
Horrendously
not like a
awful. He's horrendously awful.
Horrendously awful.
Yeah, it's bad basketball. Like,
Is that Buddy Hield again?
It sure is.
That's crazy.
why does it feel like we're down by 30 and it's 10?
Because every time they creep in, they just blow it back open.
But this is what
7 for 9 from
Yeah.
the 3-point line. Like that's just.
I mean,
There's nothing you could do about
it's
that.
always things to say like, if you're gonna get beat, don't let Steph beat you. It just sucks when someone like Buddy Hield might beat you. That
How's
wasn't a
that
foul.
not a foul?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's tough. I mean, obviously, do you want to, especially when now the second round matchup
How are you gonna let him drive?
seems
like that?
favorable against Minnesota, who I don't think is very good. I mean, we could plug Steven Adams against Rudy Gobert. What in the Lord's name are we doing with that?
I think you're trying to draw
Fred
a
Van
foul.
Fleet threw up the worst prayer foul of all time. And we'd had Amin Thompson to guard Anthony Edwards. Yeah, it looked
Yeah,
winnable. I mean,
great matchup. Yeah.
the path to the Western Conference Finals and a matchup against OKC, who we split the season series with this year. So, not saying we would have beat them over 7, but like in a small sample size, they match up well. A lot of young, it's an up and down game.
It'd be a super exciting series
Yes,
for sure.
and instead, we have Jalen Green throwing up air balls. And
I think
just,
he hit rim.
oh. That's the face of a man who doesn't even know what he's watching right now. Even Udoka's like, this isn't what we talked about at all.
I mean, you have 70 points with 6 minutes left in the game.
But that's man, the Rockets are going to win games, 95 to 90. They're not going to win games in a shootout of 130 to 127. Like they want to. I mean, there is an easy chance the Warriors don't score 100 points in this game, and they still might win by 10.
Yeah.
Because when our offense goes cold, like we cannot score, but we play good defense.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't argue that. Just when the offense can't do anything literally at all, this is exactly what happens. Against a Warrior, we're going to lose to 2 players. We're going to lose to 36-year-old Steph Curry and 35-year-old Jimmy Butler.
And Buddy Hield.
Yeah. Some kid played college basketball at Oklahoma. Yuck.
Hey, so Trae Young,
Yeah, yuck.
you want to do the game of the week?
Sure. Wait, you want to end with that, or do y'all want to talk about Belichick at all?
What happened with Belichick?
Did y'all see the
I was
CBS
reading
interview?
about that.
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was awful. For one, he went on there in like what had to be a Navy sweatshirt from like 1943.
It's like all torn up.
Torn up. Looks like it was actually used in World War II.
Oh no.
And I think Belichick might need saving.
How old is he?
He's
73?
72, 73, yeah.
That is crazy.
And I think Jordan's getting a little bit too involved with everything that's going on.
That's his girl.
Yeah.
So there was actually a question in the interview that she actually cut it off.
How
And,
did y'all
like,
meet? And she said, "We're not going to talk about that." In the middle of the interview, yeah, there's some rumblings that, how involved is she with all of his stuff? Who's gonna be coaching Carolina? Is she gonna be on the sideline? Apparently, she like goes to practice and comes to talk to him like during practice and stuff. And
Well, she is their social media person, right? Like,
maybe, I don't know. I know
It's
she's
like Shannon Sharp situation.
she's doing like PR for him and stuff, and
So she's just running his socials.
yeah, like they were like, I wonder if Bill even knows that he has an Instagram.
well, and also I was listening to Pardon My Take, the podcast, and apparently she bought $10 million worth of real estate somewhere, and they were like, something's going on here, and like they said the guy the same thing. They're like, what's going on with Bill right now? Like, Bill needs saving.
Man, it's
Classic
he-
young woman,
yeah.
old guy, a lot of
I mean,
money.
she's 24 years old. I mean, like,
It's a 50-year age gap.
There can't be good decisions with money going on.
no.
Or anything. I mean, like if Carolina knew they might be getting themselves into something a little bit different, hiring Belichick, I'm not entirely sure they knew they signed up for this. But yeah.
But also, I mean, like all like her stuff aside, like you're trying to build a football program, so you hire Mac Brown to
Yeah.
take over, who was 70 years old when they hired him. He coaches there for like 6 years or whatever it was. And so then you try to move and so you're like, okay, our next big hire is a guy who's never coached college football,
And is also in his
and
70s.
Bill Belichick, and he's 72 years old on top of everything else.
My thing is like with Belichick though, he's always been known as like the Patriot way. Like he runs this tight ship. Nobody gets away with nothing. Everybody's held accountable. He's a gritty, old school, hard nosed. He's just a football guy.
Yeah.
And now you got this 24-year-old ex-cheerleader that has him doing whatever the hell she wants him to. It's like,
Which is insane,
what happened to Belichick? Like, this is not the guy we saw on the sidelines in New England for 20-plus years.
No.
And I think that's what Carolina was hoping. Like, he establishes this new way, and then,
Like
a
a
and
culture
then,
change.
Yes, and then somebody else, whether it's his son or whatever, takes over afterwards and just kind of keeps that rolling. But they're getting just a whole different form of Bill, I think.
I just want to know like what the potential is of like this just absolutely exploding in year one. And
Yeah, somebody posed that question. They were like, what are the chances he doesn't make it through a full year? Like, is it 100% chance he coaches this year, the whole year? Or is there a chance with all this side stuff going on that he actually doesn't make it the year? Someone even said, like, does he even not make the season? No, I think he makes the season. I think he coaches the season.
I think he makes the season just because there's no expectation with North Carolina football.
Yeah.
Like, there's no expectation at all there.
yeah, you're coaching football at a basketball school.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But the one I heard that I agree with the most was, like, this stuff stops being cute after year one. If, like, this is still going, if they go 4-8 and they're still doing this stuff on the side all the time, going into year two,
You got to shut it down.
something's got to change.
If you want to be taken seriously.
Yeah, because I mean, even Bill Belichick going on a CBS interview, like, he would have never done that before.
No.
This was to promote a book he apparently wrote.
Look at the screen he just set.
I'm trying to keep talking about other things, guys, before I blow.
That is a crazy.
I'm
That's a
trying-
foul all day, every day.
Sengun got fouled on the shot before that. So Bill's in a bad spot. He needs saving.
GG's.
He found some. This is ugly. We may not score 80 points.
Want to flip it?
You're going to go back to the one?
I don't know if it's still going on or not.
Oh, it's still going.
Dude.
So we're in the second OT of Winnipeg and St. Louis.
This is the 5th period.
That's actually just kind of wild. All
Yeah.
because a goal scored with 3 seconds on a absolute prayer, I would assume. We didn't get to see it live, but
Crazy.
I would assume a prayer. But
You're just playing 2 full. Oh my gosh, dude. That would have been insane.
dude, to me, like, okay, yeah, you're going almost into a third full game, but to me, like, to have the concentration as a goalie, to stay this locked in for this long consistently, that's impressive. Because now you've already played it another quarter, almost a period and a half, and every shot means more than ever. Your season hangs in the balance. You have to stay this locked in mentally. That's impressive.
And this Hollowbook Buke dude who's the goalie, he was the goalie for Canada in the Four Nations.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, weren't they dogging Canada's goalies? Like that was that was like their weak spot.
Yeah, him.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
He's stepping up right now.
yeah.
But yeah. Let's do the game.
Game
It's
of the
Will's
week.
turn.
All right.
Oh jeez.
I can even tag team this one if y'all
Let's
want.
tag
right?
team.
Yeah.
Let's tag team it.
'Cause Lucas is a lot better at coming up on the fly.
All right. Your game of the week is Bo-toashi
Oh, for sure. Got it.
from the country of Japan.
Okay.
Does it have like a a slang name like last week with with canal jumping? Like at least they gave it a little bit of something.
It's the beautifully dangerous sport of pole topping. So that'll give it away a little bit for you. I know there's no rice involved.
I was gonna say sushi, but
Yeah.
okay.
So how do we get to the top of these poles?
You climb them.
Yeah.
for sure. They're greased poles, so the poles are greased. You in this sport though, you want to be small and light. You don't want to be heavy and like.
You think it's a one-man sport, or
It's a
or is there a
one-man.
team where you're trying to help each other?
No, I think it's one man.
One man.
On a greased pole, getting to the top. Japanese culture, their religion, right? They like to keep it. They like have their deity, so they have to climb up this greased pole to create a figure at the top. And every time you slide down, you have to go grab another piece, and you have to create this puzzle at the top of a greased pole. And
You say create a puzzle?
it's like a puzzle, yeah. You have to get. It's a puzzle in the shape of their deity that they go to the very top and have to create.
Deity.
Oh
my gosh.
And the team that gets the closest, it's timed, so you only have a certain amount of time, and the team that gets the closest correct wins. What do you think, Will?
I think you were spot on, man. you might be the GOAT at these games, Lucas. You come up with stuff so
and
fast.
if this game was played in Philly, they'd be national champions.
That's
yeah.
that's 100% true.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Let's do
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
Dang.
So, you ready? So, each of the two teams in your job, so you have offensive and defensive teams. So, your job is to go to the other team's pole and tear the pole down. So, the teams are comprised of 75 players on each team.
Jesus.
And so, the defensive team is tasked with keeping their pole, which stands 10 to 16 feet high, standing upright. And the other team is trying to maul you pretty much and try to climb to the top and tear it down.
So being little is not good.
Is there a flag on it or something, or just the pole
No,
itself?
so you literally have to tear the pole down. So they said that people will form human walls to try to keep you away from the pole. And then there's a ninja. That's actually what they call it. The ninja sits at the top and like kicks people off the pole. Like they said, there's lots of face kicking that goes on, like literally like just like kicking people from getting to the top. So they maintain the top spot of the pole, whose job is to kick attacking players and keep the pole position vertical. The attacks are led by scrum players who lay their bodies down for pole attackers to try and run and spring off towards the opposing pole. Support players help to create distraction and supplement attacks.
Dang, this year Vanderbilt would have been good.
Tennessee last year against Vanderbilt this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's thought to have originated in Japanese military cadets in the 1940s.
Look how good it did them.
Yeah.
They should practice harder for World War
So
II.
you see the
Man,
guys
they're all
on top,
just-
and
they're
they
all
have a
just-
human wall. So yeah, so they're all...
Is the pole in anything, or are they having to hold the pole up? I think they're holding the pole because that guy is moving a lot up
Yeah,
top.
so they're like supporting the pole and keeping people
and it's a
from...
time thing? Like,
No, you just have to you have to be the first team to go.
The guy
So,
on
like-
top of here is in.
So you have guys, so like you have an attacking team that's going over here and they're defending, and then on the other side they're attacking while the other team is defending. So So it's pretty much two games going on at the same time.
Some guys are just starting back here running and just jumping on people randomly trying to get up there.
dude.
That's insane.
Dude, the shirts are flying everywhere. Like
Yeah, he's getting knocked off the top of that pole.
so for everybody watching or listening, it's just a giant scrum where it's just a giant pile of bodies. And
Imagine being at the bottom of it. That would suck.
That's what it said. People like literally go and like lay down and like you like spring yourself off of them to go up and like tear it down.
Yeah. Next time you're in Japan.
So next time you go to Japan, make sure you check out Bo-toashi.
I'm down. That looks fun. That looks electric.
That's right, dude.
That is insane.
Dude, they came out of... They
I got
came
people
out
getting
quick.
carried off in stretchers. Like,
Yeah,
got-
I mean,
They
yeah,
came
like,
through there quick.
Oh yeah, it's a full-on assault. That's World War I times right there. Like just
Yeah, they should have practiced harder.
They do it big in other countries, man.
They do.
America just plays kids games. These guys are out here going to war.
Russia's where it's at, dude. You ever seen like the phone booth wrestling?
Dude,
Where
the
they
car, or in a car.
yeah, they're like strangling each other
With
with
a
the seat
seatbelt?
belts.
Like it's like MMA. It's like vehicle MMA. They're literally sitting like, then they blow a timer and they just go, boom, and they grab the seatbelt, like just like it's
Or
awesome.
like the phone
dude.
booth, like literally like it's those like red phone booths, and like it's two guys standing in there, and they blow the whistle, and they just start just like,
It's crazy.
and there's like a referee there that can like stick his hand in to like stop and like,
Yeah, it's crazy. Savages.
yeah, dude,
And we spend billions to
That's-
watch guys throw a little orange ball through a hoop.
exactly, yeah,
That's yeah. They must be very bored in that country. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
you're
yeah.
just thinking about like, how can I, like, I'm sure that's where the slapping competition started.
the face slap, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
How can we make
Well, that's just
money?
Dana White,
Let's
just-
just slap everybody.
Was that him who started that?
Yeah, that's his thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like some of those dudes, like they'll like depending on how they do in that, like they can potentially get like a lot of those guys are MMA fighters.
Oh.
And so, like, depending on how they do on that, like, he might give him a shot to, like, try, like, the MMA stuff.
So, if you can slap somebody really hard, I feel like that has no determination if you could be a...
Good MMA fighter at
Yeah.
all?
That's crazy.
You know what it is?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because we're there online watching it while they...
Yeah. True.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Bo-toashi for anybody that's interested.
Yep.
Anytime. Yeah, that's all I got.
Yep. Pretty slow week.
Yeah, slow
Or-
week.
It's not slow, it's just slow for sports that...
It's not football.
No.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if you wanted to do our playoff teams for college football.
Just
Our
started
conference
now.
winners. I'm so ready for that.
Yeah.
I'm so ready for
We're
that.
doing the first preview the first weekend of May. We'll
The
just-
way too early. God. School hasn't even finished
Yep.
for the spring.
I know, dude.
Transfer windows.
It's still open.
Is it still open?
Yeah. Yeah.
When does it close?
I'm not sure. I know LSU's battling Miami for a safety from Houston right now.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Should be a lot of excitement going
Yep.
on.
for sure.
Now that all the spring games and everything are over.
Yeah.
Usually when it starts
Yeah,
cranking
I mean
up.
it'll crank up before we know it. There'll be summer workouts and then the SEC or the conference media
media
days and
days,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready for that.
for
but-
sure.
We got some time.
Oh yeah. All right, that's all we got. So appreciate everybody listening, watching. Do like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. Until next time, we'll see you next week.
See ya.